Very good afternoon, everyone. Honorable panelists at the dais and distinguished guests of the dais. Over the few minutes, I'd like to quick run through my perspective as an urban planner and being a very part of the smart city plan preparation team since last year, and share my experiences and a way forward, and what will they take away from this knowledge sharing, knowledge exchange program like this. And I think I might, my perspective might be different from the real IT-enabled, their perspective. Then being a planner, I see things very differently, right? In the ever-changing world of virtual reality, see, smart, the connotation by smart directly has with the how much you are IT savvy, how much you are leveraging the IT-enabled devices in order to make your life easier. But in the context of smart city, apart from the ICT-based technology, leveraging its potential to increase the efficiency of the urban governance and service delivery, actually, it is also the smart growth, which means that optimization of the existing land resources, which is very limited in terms of, in case of a place like ours, where we have only 7% of the habitable areas, and rest of the areas are either more than 75 is the forest coverage. At the same time, rest are either physical infrastructure or land not fit for the, building built-up areas. So, in the outset, like we said, therefore, IT is just an enabler, but definitely not the means to an end. And at the end of the day, its bottom line is for all the industry and the, business-oriented establishment, the business matters. So in this context, I'd like to start my presentation. So this is a quick run through this urbanized scenario in the country, how it is right now and how it is going to be over by the period of 2020. Even though we are very slow in the urbanization comparatively with the world, but still by 2020, 70% of the total population in the world will live in India. We will be totally young and enterprising, maybe skilled. At the same time, this is a driving factor for our country. At the same time, we are part of it. And in this ever-changing, growing urbanization in the process, these are the threats and these are the area of concern, like traffic congestions, power, and everything is supplemented by the average cost in terms of billion per year. And power, the water consumption, there will be water stress areas due to climate change and other anthropological interference, and healthcare, requirement of healthcare. And see, you can see there's at this moment, relatively, there's one doctor for every 1,700 people, which is very sad. And these are the as per the mission guidelines, these are the smart city attributes, which we say smart IT communication, and everything is smart. Smart environment, smart transportation, which will be, which will have a smart traffic designs, urban designs. At the same time, fleet management systems, smart buildings, which will be energy efficient, smart energy, and the other way, how we are going to make this thing into reality, the finance really matters. So in this way, the outlay is this is initial projection by the government is $350 million US, and which central funding will be 165, and 50% will in first year will be in way given to the selected smart cities. At the same time, rest of the money will come from the PPP mode or the contribution from the state government, ULBs, or by means of borrowings. So these are some few existing smart concepts that has already been adopted, or it's in functional in our country, like Ghaziabad, the smart energy, And like Chennai, they have a smart Sankar Nethralaya. It's a private healthcare system, but they are adopted a smart health system where everything is ICT based, and TCS is enabling their technology. Likewise, anyway, all this IT is one of the important area where actually everything will be managed by the IT-based one. It's the core of the smart city. Apart from that real third dimension, which is human and which is a physical infrastructure of the city. But anyway, this is, when you adopt this IT-based system, which will enable efficient running of the governance, at the same time, it will add value to the service. At the same time, it will ensure cost saving, revenue generation, increase revenue generation, and sustainability. That way, you can quantify within a second how much you are achieving and what is your benchmark. And so this is how it was envisaged. Like this is quite different from what was envisaged at the mission at the beginning during its launching. So now it is how it is going on right at this moment. The selection level it was launched, as a search said, that's 2015. After that, 20 cities were selected in the first round, and certainly there's 13 fast-track city lists were out. We were one of them, and we couldn't make it that way also. Again, 67 is yet to be selected, and that will be in the 30th of June. So this is the table below shows that how the each cities were allocated and how it was done and what are the parameters and the thing. And this is key entities which what are the central governments that are working towards their smart cities. There are so many technology vendors, foreign countries like the association, government-owned bodies, real estate developer. And their main core area, focus area is a scope and core area for the smart city projects is like smart transportation, basically smart governments, how they can help to achieve the efficiency or enhance efficiency in the urban local bodies by helping with the technology. And at the same time, it's like there are already the work is going on, and lots of companies already working with so many urban local bodies and the state government. It's all a multinational. So these are the infrastructure players where they can really come in sectors, governance, environment, IT and communication, smart transportation, health. As usual, there are 4 or 5 cities which are already adopted and working well with they have adopted quite fairly with the IT-enabled ecosystem. These are the role, how they can help in policy advocacy, facilitator, and the leadership. They're actually enhancing the capacity of the urban local bodies. And these are the already, foreign countries which they have shown the interest. In fact, they have already started working on the projects like US, Spain. They have already working, and they have adopted 2-3 cities like US. They have adopted like Ajmer, Allahabad, and Visakhapatnam to be developed as smart cities. They are quite parallel working with the smart city mission of Government of India. And this is how the smart cities actually strategies of the government. Smart cities is going to be a successful. Allocate funds, competency to create a conducive environment for the investor-friendly and favorable policies, and at the same time maintaining service level benchmark with the best practices. And these are the main core 4 areas where actually government is looking at in the smart city. So this is another actually recommended strategies for the tech companies, IT or the infrastructure-based companies. So what are their opportunities? They can give share the ideas, track upcoming city. They can track it, they can identify, and they can motivate, they can bring in people together. And this kind of forum, like Elets, which they've conducted in this JW Merit, will be the right kind of forum to bring the policymakers and the companies together, exchange ideas, and take this forward. So this is actually, I'll give some brief idea about like the smart cities, which is included in the 100 list of the cities to be developed as smart cities. It's one of the second largest cities in the in the state of Sikkim, and it has a population base of, see, if I go by the census as per the standard Government of India norms, so it had a population of 12,000 in the year of 2012, 10, and maybe if you go by the ratio of, ratio, there must be around 18,000 population, but we have a huge number of floating population. It's more than 30,000 per day. And these are the few attributes of the cities in terms of tourism, regional settings. It is one of the destination in the region in terms of pilgrimage. At the same time, because of the proximity. So these are the area. These are the few things which we have been thinking. Basically, this tourist interest of tourists for the thing, and apart from the primary economy, like we are basically our economy is based on the secondary, tertiary provider, secondary and tertiary service provider. Basically, more than 70% are engaged in the government, and rest are either primary or the tertiary sector. And this is some of the initiative which we have already taken, which I would say this is smart in terms of urban planning perspective. Like how in the left side you can see how the Gangtok used to be. It's basically old, picture, but still there used to be a taxi stand before, and now right in the right of the screen you can see this is totally 100% non-vehicular street, and it has really enhanced the air quality, and it has reduced noise level, and it has really enhanced the real estate value of the particular area. So after doing this, we have taken this forward and we have adopted this same kind of modalities for the urban design and transformation in other parts of the states, where Namchi is also one of them, which next slide I'll be showing, which will have images of that. So at the beginning, it's like everybody we work in the real-time situation, where when we come and say we are going to stop the traffic and build something else in it, so generally there will be apprehension from the public. Generally they will say they are going to ruin my business because I will not have access to the place. But now in this case, we face the same thing like all of the cities are facing, encroachment, and of course nobody would like to, move away from the place and relocate the business where they are already doing business, whether it's in good condition or bad condition. But the point is, we had to do really, struggle very hard to convince the people, and finally we managed to do actually first stretch half of the city. It's a main CBD of the Gangtok. We call them MG Mark. So once we did it, then automatically people started feeling the positive impact of the pedestrianization. So, and then suddenly there's a quantum leap in the rental value. At the same time, the real high street retail establishment started appearing in the street, and at the same time there are cases. Then earlier it used to be only ground floor and first floor used to be the commercial establishment. Now we can see commercial establishment up to even fourth floor also. So eventually then we took it forward, and there's another stage also covered, and of course there's a one-way traffic is there at the same time. So, and in addition to that, we have this street is fully Wi-Fi free zone, and it's covered by CCTV surveillance, where we have a central command control, which is taken over by the police. So that is what we have already done. It's kind of smart only in terms of physical perspective and physical planning perspective. And though we need to integrate into the system that is yet to be done, which is smart city is all about. And this is the town which we are talking about in Namchi, which is selected as one of the cities to be developed as smart cities. So in the right side, this used to be the old, Namchi. In fact, it's very old. There was a little bit transformation after that. It was quite congested at the same time. Same time, this is a CBD, central business district of the town. And after the Gangtok projects, we started off with the Namchi. It's the same thing, the same multiplier effect. We could see, in the thing at the beginning, the same thing. People, they had objections. Now we have a beautiful town square where you can just walk around freely and safely. The point is actually, see, we are only second term in the urban local bodies. We are not being able to, I mean, sensitize the people in terms of their what is their responsibility in terms of paying taxes. We have to actually really motivate the people to pay the even minimum of the fees, because earlier they were not used to that kind of, I mean, a situation like where now city has to govern itself. So likewise, now there are so many indicators. We can see in the right side, this high value hotels has come up, and still there are so many intent has been given by the multinational company where chain like even JW Marriott, Lee Meridian, Hyatt Regency, they have intention to show their, establish themselves in this region, especially in Namchi and Gangtok, because there are other enabling factors also. So these are the few initiatives of the government of Sikkim where we see it's a smart, okay, and most of the things, sir, as sir has rightly put, we are 100% organic state. And other, like in terms of environment, there's a complete ban on the use of plastics and styrofoam-based items through legislation. And ban of use of packaged drinking water in the government functions is now not there anymore. It's a totally ban. And we have a higher literacy rate in urban and rural area as well. And higher tele-density, we ranked 13th as per the last report in the rural tele-density. And even like we are even higher among the small states and in the northeast and the Himalayan states in terms of urban mobile users. And ease of doing business, we got a PICO, Principal Investment Commissioner's Office, set up at Delhi. It's a basically gateway to enter into Sikkim for the industrial establishment. And we have a very progressive performance in Swachh Bharat mission. As such, we have declared one of the cleanest hill towns in the country. And there are other enabling factors. Is the lowest crime rate, and the policy. The government is very progressive, and they are ready to adopt the best practices in the governance. Priority is given to the capacity building of the human resources. Either it's a elected or a government employees. And recently, this is now, I think yesterday only, we have new policy has come into place. It's a Sikkim Open Data Acquisition and Accessibility Policy. Recently, the Sikkim Open Data Portal has been inaugurated. So anybody can log into this with the ID, and you can have a data in hands-on data with yourself. So that way, the company or the industry who wants to establish and come into Sikkim, they can have a data in the hands of the state. At the same time, plan accordingly. But however, like there are challenges. Why actually we are not being able to capitalize on all the attribute, positive attribute, after having all this kind of positive attribute? Because at the end of the business is related to the economics of scale. And for that, return of investment for any, industry is very important. So I would say the physical environment for the investment prospect is not the conducive enough at this moment, because another one is investment will eventually lead to O&M and the cost recovery. So at this moment, it's not financially feasible for the companies to come and tie up, or the scale is not enough for them to, service their cost. But one thing is very sure, we can really, convince our people, and they have shown their willingness to pay, provided they are being given the services. It's like, I would say in very crude way, that hen and egg story. Because first you provide the service, then there will be, you can go and, demand the charges or whatever is there. It's like a perform, achieve and trade kind of thing. Another one is, since our ULBs are very new, it's only second term running, it's a fifth or sixth year in the term. So they need lots of capacity building exercise and hand holding, but still, like, they are also very adaptive to capacity building, and they are progressive. So in terms of, our physical planner, at the same time, being in the government for such a long time. So I would say the economics of scale, it's a positive for the company, because you can come and you can showcase your technology. You'll have a conducive environment. You'll have to deal with the lesser people, and at the same time, even if you're not, you can showcase your project as a pilot and doable, and after that you can sell your technology to the other places. Because as long as people, you don't, seeing is believing. You don't showcase whatever you have in real-time situation, then it's impossible to think. But everything looks rosy in the, as long as it is there in the laptop. Another one is we can take on the way, at least your capital will be conserved. How much you will spend, the capital will be secure. Or the company can come and seek the alternative support from the government, or ensure the gap funding. So there are many instruments, financial instruments, where you can really come and work with us, and at the same time be a part of the smart city endeavor. Otherwise, and at the same time, so this is the right time, I would say this is the right time to come to the Sikkim, because if there's so many factors, enabling factors for the company, work with us, and at the same time, whoever will come, they will be the first, they'll first come, first service issue basis, like what Mayfair has done to the Sikkim. Mayfair was the first hotel chain to establish the 5-star in the Northeast, and they are getting maximum benefit out of it. After that, all the hotel chains, they have started rushing towards the Northeast. After that, you can see the first another hotel has come up in Guwahati, and similarly, JW Marriott, they're coming up in Siliguri. So these are the things. Before that, none of the company, they are reluctant to come into those parts of the country, considering those are not viable business opportunity. So whoever comes first, they will be leveraging the opportunity and tap the rich resources, whatever we have. And last but not the least, actually urban planning in the smart city it's a basic evolving process. It's not the end. And here we are only talking about the major issues, which is many tangible, physical and human. Physical relates to spatial land uses, development control rights, built from urban design and master planning. And the human it's part of the cities. Without them, it's not there. But we'll be talking about the intangible aspect also, which is an aspiration of the people, culture. So that's very important in the urban planning. And that's only as long as you take care of all these 3 elements, then the smart city mission will never get success. Therefore, smart city is not the smart product, it's a perpetual process and will continue to be so.